Why, hello there. Mary Grace here with Social Register Network, and we are coming on live to do our Biz Connect interview one-on-one with Social Register members. Our Biz Connect interviews allows you to connect with our members, get to know them, find out who they are, what they do, and how you can add them to your network. And today I have Ronen Rahaman, who is the coach and owner of Invictus Consulting, that we'll be able to get to know and find out what he does, who he is, and who he serves. So I'm going to bring him on, and you guys can say hello to him. Hello, Ronen. Welcome.
Hey, Mary Grace. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. It is my honor. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So tell us more. Tell us more about Invictus Consulting, but most of all, tell us more about you, Ronen.
Okay. So I just want to set the record straight. I don't own Invictus Consulting. It was founded by Adam
My
Kent.
apologies.
That's okay. And we work together. We collaborate together. We do things together. We're like minds that are committed to our clients and, committed to a better world overall, and our access to making our impact in the world is through our clients and how they perform. So, a little bit about me. I kind of think of myself in three different domains. There's my work domain, my personal domain, and then my contribution domain. And for my personal domain, I'm single dad. I got two kids, but they're older. They're doing their own thing. One's going to be 25 here in November. The other's 23.
Oh, wow.
And it's just, they're a blessing. They're a blessing in my life. And anything I can do for them, and I'm watching them grow. I mean, it's been amazing. Professionally, I do the coaching, I do the consulting. I work with small to medium-sized business owners, primarily focusing right now on construction. So I like general contractors, subcontractors. I also like handymen and people who do remodeling. So some of the smaller work. Essentially, I'm looking for people who are working in their business, not working on their business, and just help them train and develop them so that they can ultimately have their lifestyle. We all want to work for ourselves to create a certain lifestyle. So that's what I do professionally. And then personally, in the contribution side, in that domain, I'm a court-appointed special advocate. So I advocate for, in this case, one child in foster care. And I advocate for their best interest, which isn't always what they want. But I navigate the system, and I make sure that the system works for them. I make sure that their placements are, treating them well, and looking also for a permanent placement, depending on the situation. Most of my kids tend to age out. So, we want them to age out powerfully and be functioning adults. And then I do court reports on the eyes and ears of the judge. It's one of the most rewarding things that a person can do in terms of contribution, because you have a direct impact on the person that you're working with. It's not just, your little bit in an organization. So I don't mean to diminish that, but if you like that feedback of watching your contribution blossom, then being a court-appointed special advocate is one way to do that.
Wow, that is amazing. I remember hearing about that for the first time, things that you do on your personal contributions. And I commend you. I think Kim Bassett introduced us to what you were doing, because I already knew you before then. And I was like, wow, that is so awesome. So how did you get started with Invictus Consulting? But then also I want to tap into what you're doing in your personal contributions too.
Sure. So, Adam and I have been friends since he moved here. I think it was 2015 he moved here. And he moved here from Australia, where he grew up most of his life. And we're connected through Landmark Worldwide, which is a personal development and growth company. And so we're very like-minded in that respect. And we speak a particular language that you do when you're a graduate of Landmark. And we just hit it off. And then, he kind of did his own thing, and he was working with family, and I was doing my own thing. And at some point, it's like, I was looking for a consulting situation where I didn't have to continually create content. And he had a ton of content because he had done the same thing in Australia for a long time. And so we had a series of conversations about that. And then at some point I'm like, you know what? Well, let's just do this. let's create something here. And that's what was so amazing. So, we've worked on creating all kinds of stuff together, and he's got amazing content that I've adapted to some of the ways of being for me and some of the things that I've learned in my experience, having had a painting and drywall company here. And it's been amazing. And now we have, putting on events. We in November 18th, we're doing the happiest hour, which is something that we've done for about every 6 weeks for quite a while now, and it's grown and blossomed. So there's a lot of things that we're doing, and we're building community. The thing about the happiest hour is that we're building community. We're bringing everybody in, all the chambers and different organizations, and it's all about community. So
Wonderful. So with Invictus Consulting, it's business coaching, right?
yeah, it's primarily business coaching, and you can't just coach the business, you coach the human, right?
Yes.
So
Mhm.
you don't actually coach the business. And I that's what I love about it, because I get to make an impact with people, not just on their business performance, but they're also their personal performance, right? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And it's a surreptitious kind of thing in terms of creating a world that works, right?
Mhm.
You want people to be high performing at work, but why can't they be high performing at home? And what that means is being the best spouse you could be, being the best parent you could be, being the best community citizen that you could be,
Mhm.
right? Being the best family member that you can be. That's what has the world work. When we're all working together, I know capitalism is very competitive, but I would like to see capitalism be a little bit more collaborative,
I
right?
agree.
Right, and have
Yeah.
everybody, let's move all of us forward,
Mhm.
instead of I got to move forward, so you got to stay behind. I got to keep you behind me. It's a different level of competition. Like, I get the competition creates innovation and
Mhm.
creates drive and motivation, but for me, I prefer to coach my clients in being a for-purpose company, not just being a for-profit company. Like, yes, be profitable, right? I'm not saying nonprofit, but what I'm saying is that make a profit with a purpose, and have your company be a reflection of your contribution in the world.
Oh, that is awesome. You are speaking my language because I'm all about impact driven, heart centered business owners doing something for purpose and mission and impacts. A lot of people that I've connected with, I think everybody here has an impact, right? When you are part of a business, you launch a business, or you apply to be part of a business and become an employee. Usually you have something pulling at your heart and you choose that business or you launch that business because you have an impact you want to make on this world. I think it's funny because we just had our women's event yesterday, and that was one of the discussions we had was about, finding that impact and your purpose here on this earth, because using our business as that platform to make a difference, whatever
Yeah,
that is to you.
absolutely. It's the engine that drives it.
Mhm.
We always tell ourselves that money doesn't buy happiness, right? So if that's actually the case, then why do we spend so much time making as much money as possible in our business?
Yeah.
Well, if it's not for some higher purpose, something
Mhm.
that where you get to leave a legacy that has an impact, then that's exactly what you're pursuing. Is you're pursuing money
Yeah.
as a means to happiness, when it's really just a resource that allows you
Yes.
to do the things that make you happy, and be the ways that make you happy. So I think about those things a lot. It's part of why, contribution is a big part of my life.
Mhm.
And I think about the kind of world I want to leave behind for my kids. And part of the CASA experience is, that these are kids that deserve just as much a chance as anybody else. And they're the kids that my kids are growing up with,
Mhm.
right? So I want those kids to be high functioning, well adjusted adults. And that's what's going to make my kids' world a better place.
How did you get involved with that? And how can anyone who's listening get involved if they wanted to give back too?
Oh, awesome. So there's a couple. Well, I got involved because someone mentioned it to me, and then it like didn't register. Like she shared that she wanted to become a casa, and I'm like, you want to be a house? I don't get it.
Yeah.
It didn't, right? Like it didn't connect. And then I was at a party and someone was sharing all the training that they're doing to become a casa. And then it just like, because I had heard it before, like, you know how you see a car, like I want to buy that car, and then now you see it all over the place. So now it was a little bit in my awareness. I was able to connect the dots, and I'm like, you know what, I can do that. And it was really coming from a place of, I can't fix the foster care system. It's beyond overwhelming, but I can do something for one kid. And when I got that, then I realized, okay, this is something I can do, and something, not that I'm obligated to do, but if there's no reason to not do it, I got to just do it. It's a just do it. And to get involved, you can go to www.casalasvegas.org. That's their website, and there's a button there that says volunteer, and it runs you through everything that you need to find out what it takes to become a casa. There's also a new organization called Champions for Casa, which I'm going to be participating with. Kelly Gaines, who runs the Nevada Subcontractors Association, just became a member, and we just connected on this. So I'm going to be supporting her, and their whole mission is to expand the CASA program, because there are about 3,500 kids in foster care, and only 10% have a court-appointed special advocate. And the data shows that those kids that have a CASA absolutely have better outcomes than those that don't.
Wow, that is so awesome.
We need more. Yeah. So, I do the consulting, obviously like anybody else. I got bills to pay and things to do in that aspect of it. But I use both of those things. What enriches me is the work that I do outside of my consulting. And I love my clients, and it's the most amazing, most fulfilling things to see them achieve results.
With your consulting, it provides the resource for you to help your clients, but also provides a resource for you to go and fill your heart and help with the CASA side. So it's full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, when you integrate all that in your life, we were talking about, how you create companies, and, if you don't have your core company created inside your core values, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nothing you're doing is consistent with who you are. And so that's a whole other conversation, but that's a great place to start. When people are looking for, meaning and fulfillment in life, I ask them to do it without any kind of constraints, right? Like no money, no time constraints, but created from their core values, like what matters to them. What matters to them in their lives, beyond just sort of, oh, my health, my kids. Like, I don't mean it in a superficial way. Like deep down inside, when you look at your soul, what is it? And you look in your heart, right? What is it that excites you in life? What motivates you in life? What has you be engaged with life, which is to me what it is to have a fulfilling life, right? It's just to be fully engaged. There's no right and wrong thing to do. There's not the pursuit of, like, it's not about being the richest person. It's about being the most fulfilled person, right? And when you're fully engaged in life, then I think that's one way to do it. And core values is a way to look at the world and say, what matters to me? And then go do that. Go do that. You don't have to wait. Just go do something, and then you'll see. And then it'll just spiral from there. And I'm sure you've experienced that as well.
Yes, 100%. We need to have you do a workshop on core values, because for me, I've used core values not only for myself to keep me right on track, but to keep our team like heading towards the vision, but keeping the core values in mind in anything that they do when they're talking to a member, when they're out at an event, doesn't matter. So it's not only to keep us as a business owner aligned, but keep our team aligned as well.
Absolutely. It is the guiding force that allows them to operate without you always having to be there.
Yep.
It's you when you're not there.
Exactly.
The big thing for me is making sure that when people create their core values, they don't do it in an aspirational way. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it really has to be you, the business owner, getting really, really, really in touch with your core values. And sometimes there are things that you wouldn't think of. So I had one client who was a negotiator. She teaches negotiation. She'll also negotiate for you.
Mhm.
And her tagline is that, a negotiation is a conversation about a relationship. So it's not hostage negotiating, right?
Mhm.
There's not crushing the other side. And so one of her core values is curiosity, right? It's so a lot of times, we have integrity and honesty and things like
The
that.
typical
Those are
ones,
great,
yeah. Yeah.
right? Those are like people hear that and it's like, yeah, everybody says integrity.
But those are
What
given, like, we should all have integrity.
exactly, right?
We
Like
can all
you
be
shouldn't have to
honest.
say that. But to have curiosity, right? So when
Mhm.
she's teaching people how to negotiate and her style of negotiating, her methodology, big part of it is being curious about the other side. What is it that they want? What would make them happy? Like, and I'm not an expert negotiator. I would leave that up to her. But that core value, you can communicate that to someone. And as you're learning your own level of negotiation or your own method, being curious all the time and learning that has you succeed. So it's those kinds of core values that I always talk about,
Mhm.
because those get to the true nub of who you are, not necessarily who you want to be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I
Yes, it
rambled on
does.
there.
I need you to do a workshop because I think a lot of people can really look at some people don't have core values, or it's the typical, the honesty, the integrity, the teamwork, the typical ones you
Right.
see all the time. It would be really neat for you to do a workshop for social register members in person, maybe sometime the beginning of the year. Like that's a perfect time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's never too late and it's never too early. So
Yeah.
whenever we do it, it'll be just right.
Hmm.
And I'm happy to have that conversation because it is at the core of what creates the culture, and the culture determines your success or not.
I agree 100%. I could talk to you all day long, Ronan. We
Good.
align. Well, I want to touch on your happiest hour that you do with Adam Kent because obviously we're a networking organization. So I know we align in so many different areas. So I have to ask, because I ask everyone who comes on to our interview, is how has networking played a role in getting visibility for you and your business and really building the right connections?
Well, I will say that the work that Adam has done in creating the event and
Mhm.
hosting it and bringing so many disparate organizations together. I think we're going to be adding the NFL Alumni Association
Mhm.
here in Vegas. So, bringing everybody together, the different chambers and the different organizations, is meant to convey a sense of community, you know, and that we're all in this together, and let's all get together. Let's have a good time. Let's figure out who we want to work with, who we don't want to work with, I guess, too,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But who do you want to work with, and go out there and meet them. And even though, look, we all know Vegas is a small town, most of the networking events that we go to, we see a lot of the same people, but I look at that as ways to continually deepen the relationship and build trust with people so that in the future you can be a referral partner to them. So I'm very much in the come to give, not to get,
Mhm.
and just really connect with people. And that's what I love about the happiest hour. And it's on a Friday night, so you're already giving yourself permission to get as hammered as you want, and because tomorrow is Saturday, right?
And how has that played a role in getting visibility for you, like networking in general?
It comes from deepening those relationships, because the thing that I do, the thing that Adam does, requires a high level of trust.
Yes.
I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm
Mhm.
asking probative questions that make you think about it. And you have to trust that if you're going to spend money with me and invest your time with me, that I'm going to take you, deliver you to the promised land, if you will. And that takes time. And it takes a little bit of conversation, because you have to also at some point say, yeah, I need the coaching, and
Mhm.
not make yourself wrong for needing the coaching. Like, there's nothing wrong with coaching. Everyone should have a coach, because
Yes.
Tiger Woods has coach, sports
Yes.
people have coaches, actors have coaches, singers, and
Mhm.
opera singers have everybody has voice coaches. I knew a guy who was a hockey player, minor league hockey. They had a sports psychologist
Mhm.
along with all the other coaches.
Yep.
So why as business owners do we say, no, I'm good, I can handle it, I'll figure it out, and you can't see it. You can't see the things in front of you. So to get back to your question, I have to build that trust with people, and that's what attending these events does for me.
That's awesome. And I know we're a little bit over time, but I just love our conversation. You have a lot of wealth of information, and that led me to we need to have you do a workshop conversation. But I want everyone to know how they can get in touch with you. So please let them know if you have any socials, your website, whatever you want to give them, you can give them that now.
The best thing is I'll give you my phone number. Just
Mm.
call me 702-234-8077. And our website is invictuslv.com. So yeah, just shoot me a text, give me a buzz. Typically, we'll get together for a few minutes, kind of get to know each other a little bit, and then look to see if scheduling what we call a strategy session works. That's 90 minutes of free coaching. I don't sell. I don't pitch throughout the whole thing. If you did this, none of that. It is legit coaching. You will leave that 90-minute session with more clarity, more direction, and actions to take that will impact your business in the immediate future. So
Wow,
we
that's
do
a
that.
great opportunity.
Yeah, it is. It's a totally great opportunity. And I've had people go through it, thank you very much, and elevate their business. And I've
Mhm.
had people go, yeah, you know what? We should work together because you pointed out a lot of things to me. Goes either way. I have no attachment either way. I'm here to serve. And that's what I do.
Ah, you're an amazing man, Ronen. Thank you so much for being a member, and thank you so much for coming on BizConnect Live to share more about you and how people can connect with you and all the other things that you're doing, especially with the CASA. Now, if there's people who want to get involved, they have the resource because I had no idea that that was even available. I thought you had to be part of the foster care system or working there to be part of it or get some licensing and all these different things. So that's an amazing resource that you provided today.
It is. And you know what? I'm happy to answer questions about that as well. So if I just
Mhm.
gave out my number, you can, even if you don't want the strategy session or talk to any business, if you just want to find out about CASA, hit me up. That's no problem. I'm happy to talk to you about it. I'll let you know what it takes. I'll give you the real deal on what it takes to be a CASA, which is not as much as you think.
Mhm.
There is work to do. It does take something, but it is not restricted to anybody. Anybody can do it. You just have to have a little bit of common sense
Yeah.
and a desire to make a difference for kids.
That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ronan, again for coming on Biz Connect with me. And thank you for everybody who is watching us live or catching the replay. Just hashtag replay. You have Ronan's phone number. He gave you his phone number, so call or text him. But also, I'll put his website down below. And if you want to reach out to him through the comments, we always are monitoring the comments and we'll make sure Ronan gets your message. But thank you again, Ronan, for coming on with us, sharing your knowledge, your expertise, more about your business and your resources that you provided about CASA. I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. And again, I'm going to put Ronan's phone number am I allowed to put your phone number in the
Yeah.
description?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, Ronan's over here giving his phone number out to the public.
If it's you know what, it's on my LinkedIn profile. It's going to blow up. I get all those high things, all those scam things
Oh my
anyway.
God.
So like, what's a little bit more,
Yeah. What's,
And I just want to say
YouTube
thank you
too.
for having me on. It's actually been a delight to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. We will talk to you guys soon. We're going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you again, Ronan.